Welcome to NextaudiobookShorts. The pursuit of power is not for the faint of heart. It is a cold, calculated game played by those who understand the underlying physics of human social structures. Today, we elevate our discourse as we deconstruct the 8 unbreakable laws of power in their most granular and sophisticated form. Law 1. The law of strategic silence. Power is often surrendered the moment a man opens his mouth. In the elite strata, talk is not just cheap, it is dangerous. The more you speak, the more you reveal your boundaries, your insecurities, and your future moves. Silence is the ultimate cloak. When you are silent, you force others to interpret your position, creating a vacuum of uncertainty that makes you appear more profound and powerful than you may even feel. Furthermore, silence is a diagnostic tool. Most people are terrified of quiet spaces in conversation and will rush to fill them with nervous chatter, accidental confessions, and valuable secrets. By practicing active silence, you gain the upper hand in negotiations and social dynamics. You become the observer while everyone else becomes the performer. Remember, an elite operator never explains themselves more than necessary, for explanation is a form of submission. Law 2. The law of control perception. In the game of power, there is no objective reality. There's only the reality that others believe to be true. To master this law, you must view your public persona as a high-value asset that requires constant curation. You are the architect of your own legend. If you allow the world to see your flaws, your doubts, or your commonalities, you become just another face in the crowd. Instead, you must engineer a strategic facade that emphasizes strength, competence, and mystery. This involves symbolic management, the clothes you wear, the speed at which you walk, and the company you keep. If you are seen with kings, the world assumes you are royalty. If you are seen with the distracted, you are branded as one of them. Power is a performance, and every interaction is a stage. You must ruthlessly edit your behavior until only the most powerful version of yourself is visible to the public eye. Control the lens through which you are viewed, and you control the world's reaction to you. Law 3. The law of emotional detachment. The most vulnerable point in any man's armor is his ego and the emotions attached to it. The third law dictates that to be powerful, you must become a ghost in the machine. When you react with anger, frustration, or even excessive joy, you grant your competitors a map of your internal triggers. They will use those triggers to manipulate you, distract you, and ultimately defeat you. Emotional detachment is not about becoming a robot. It is about operational stoicism. By detaching your identity from your results, you can analyze setbacks with the cold precision of a scientist. When an opponent attacks you, an emotional response is exactly what they want. If you remain indifferent, their attack loses its momentum and recoils upon them. You must cultivate a delayed response mechanism. Never act in the heat of the moment. The elite individual processes information internally and only acts when the emotional fog has cleared, ensuring every move is a calculated step toward dominance. Law 4. The law of scarcity and value. Economics and power share a fundamental rule. Value is inextricably linked to scarcity. If you're always available, always responsive, and always visible, you become a commodity. Commodities are easily replaced and poorly compensated. To reach the elite level, you must become a rare asset. This requires the strategic withdrawal of your presence. By making yourself less accessible, you force the world to compete for your time. This law applies to your expertise as well. Do not give away your best insights for free or in every meeting. Hold back. Let the world realize that a moment of your attention is a high-cost luxury. When you do speak or appear, the impact is magnified because it is rare. In any hierarchy, the person who is most needed but least available holds the most leverage. Learn to say no to the trivial so that your yes carries the weight of a monumental event. Law 5. The law of selective generosity. Many mistake power for cruelty, but the truly powerful understand the utility of kindness. However, this is not the kindness of the weak. It is the strategic altruism of the sovereign. By bestowing gifts, favors, or praise at the exact right moment, you create a psychological debt in the recipient. This is reciprocity engineering. Humans are biologically wired to return favors. When you are the one who provides value first, you are the one who holds the invisible leash. The key word is selective. If you are generous to everyone, it is seen as a personality trait and loses its edge. If you are generous only when it serves your long-term vision, it becomes a surgical tool. Use generosity to disarm your enemies, to secure the loyalty of high-value subordinates, and to soften the frame of a negotiation before you make your move. Power is maintained not just by fear, but by the strategic management of obligations. Law 6, the law of intellectual dominance. The highest form of power is not physical or financial. It is the power to define the truth for others. Intellectual dominance occurs when your ideas become the framework through which others view the world. You do not need to win arguments if you can control the definitions of the words being used. This is framing. If you can set the goals and the standards of success for your organization or social circle, you have already won. To achieve this, you must be the most informed person in the room, but you must also be the most persuasive. Use high-level logic, storytelling, and first principles thinking to dismantle the weak arguments of others. When people begin to look to you for the correct interpretation of events, you have achieved the ultimate leverage. You are no longer just a player in the game. You have become the one who writes the rules. Law 7, the law of the inner circle. Even the most powerful individual is limited by their own two hands. To scale your influence, you must build a fortress of competence. This is your inner circle, a small, elite group of specialists whose skills complement your own and whose loyalty is beyond question. You must be the hub of this wheel. The danger, however, lies in the law of association. If you allow weak, gossiping, or lazy individuals into your circle, their entropy will eventually infect your power base. You must audit your circle with ruthless frequency. Prune the deadwood, those who rely on your power without contributing to its growth. Surround yourself with people who are better than you in specific niches, but who look to you for the overarching vision. A true inner circle acts as a force multiplier, protecting your back, executing your will, and providing you with the ground truth intelligence you need to make sovereign decisions. Law 8, the law of absolute ownership. The final and most unbreakable law is that power is an internal state before it is an external reality. You must take absolute ownership of every facet of your life. The moment you blame the economy, your upbringing, or your competitors for your lack of power, you have surrendered your agency to those forces. An elite operator views every failure as a failure of strategy, and every strategy can be refined. By accepting total responsibility, you grant yourself total authority. This law demands that you eliminate the victim mindset entirely. You must be the sole judge of your progress and the sole architect of your future. When you live by this law, you develop a predatory focus, a relentless drive to identify weaknesses in yourself and the environment and to conquer them. Power is not something that happens to you. It is something you create through the absolute mastery of your own will. This concludes our exhaustive deconstruction of the 8 unbreakable laws of power. In NextaudiobookShorts, we do not just summarize, we synthesize.